Hey guys, Jill from Whole for Life. This is part one of probably what'll be 20 parts. I'm going to chronicle the last few days. So, as most of you know, we are in Germany visiting our son who is in the military. He is stationed in Germany, and this was his first Christmas here. So, we took the opportunity to come over for about 3 weeks and spend time with him and explore Germany and Austria and where else did we go, boys? Czech Republic, and we've been all over Germany. So anyway, we have had a great time. But on New Year's Eve, Chase was picking up another officer and his wife that is going to be stationed here in Germany. And it was very, very early in the morning, 3 o'clock, I think, in the morning. And so he and his brother actually offered to go with him, and they went to pick up this couple. And they had been, it had been a regular day. We had done our regular activities. They had been working out before they left, but that's a normal part of Chase's everyday life. And so he experienced something unusual on the way back, which was about 4 o'clock in the morning. He said he got a pain in his chest area.
Shoulder and rib cage.
I'm not showing him, but his shoulder and rib cage area. Chase has an exceptionally high tolerance to pain. He has had some physical things. For example, he dislocated his shoulder. That is a very painful thing, and he really never complained about it. You just saw the deformity. So and that's just one example. There's a lot of examples of how he has an abnormally high tolerance to pain. Unbelievably. So anyway, he said that the pain was significant enough that he had to pull over because he was losing consciousness, passing out, kind of a vagal response is what it sounds like to me. So, and that is my typical response to severe pain too. My body just says peace out and I pass out. So that's kind of how we equated that. When the pain passed and he was better from that aspect, he had a restriction of air. And the right side just didn't feel right. He wasn't able to fully inflate his lung. He definitely wasn't able to do that without coughing and that sort of thing. Is that right, Chase? So anyway, they didn't get back to the apartment until well after 4 o'clock in the morning. He was some better, so he did not wake me up. He just went to bed. The next day, he told me all about this, and I said, well, you need to call the clinic or whatever the protocol is, and we need to get that checked. And but it was New Year's Day. So, and he was, I will have to say, he was better, and he wasn't short of breath. He wasn't labored with his breathing. I did all the things so many times. When we first got here, Cade had issues with upper respiratory stuff, and then Chase having this. I so wish I had brought my stethoscope. So next time I travel to Germany or anywhere else, my stethoscope's going with me. But anyway, and had I been able to listen to his lungs, I would have known right away. But regardless, he really didn't seem that bad. He had a little cough and whatever. And then that evening, he said, I'm really okay, except if I lie on my right side, it feels like I'm breathing through a straw. Well, anybody in the medical profession knows that's a red flag with a red flag on top of it. So I said, okay, we are getting this looked at. Now, we did not want to go to the ER because he wasn't in immediate distress, and it was late, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day night. New Year's Day night. So the following morning, he went into work, just like always, and called the clinic. And because of the symptoms that he expressed to them, they told him he really just needed to go to the ER here in Hamburg. Now, a little bit of information, I've learned a whole lot about this. So in Germany anyway, if you are an officer stationed in Germany and you have a major medical issue that they feel is too much for the clinic, you do go to a private hospital in Germany TRICARE comes in and takes over, takes care of insurance payment, all of that stuff. But you don't go to a hospital, a military hospital, unless I guess, maybe if you're real close to one. And they have, they can do some things at the clinic there in Vilsec, but not to the level of hospital care or urgent care. So, and that, as it turned out, was a really good thing that they insisted he go to the ER. So Chayse was waffling back and forth about it because he really was better, but he was scheduled to be out of town on an assignment for work the following week after we left. Actually, he was leaving on Sunday before we were to leave on Monday, I think, or Tuesday. My days are all running together now. So, long story short, he came home, got me. We came to the ER here in Amberg. What's the name of this hospital?
St. Marian Clinic.
St. Marian Clinic. So we got here, came into the ER, and I'll share a little bit about the experience that's different than the States and that's similar. First of all, their ER, even though Amberg is a large place, their ER is tiny. I'm guessing 20 seats maybe. You go up, you wait your turn, you go up to the window, you talk to the staff behind the window. Incidentally, when we did that to explain why we were here, no one spoke English. So, and because of the, you actually come in on ground level and then you go down 2 floors, I think. You're very much in the basement, and so we didn't have any service to use Google Translate. So that was kind of interesting. But eventually we got that across, what we were here for. We filled out all the paperwork, or Chayse did. They called him back eventually. There was probably 3 people in the waiting room. No, this isn't the height of cold and flu season, and they are having that junk over here. Just, I don't know if it's as bad as at home, but anyway, so that was a little before 10 in the morning. By the time he came back from the base, got me, and we came to the ER. Maybe 3 people in the waiting room. Still took a while to get him back. That's very similar to our hospital system. But regardless, it was, I'm going to say 15 to 30 minutes, and they took him back. I was not allowed to go with him, and so he went back there. It was a broken English situation again. He explained everything to them. They gained IV access, so that's pretty standard, just like at our hospitals. They did blood work and an EKG, also pretty standard for shortness of breath and that kind of stuff. So all of the diagnostics, except the one thing that Chayse was very clear with him. I told them to. So anyway, the nurse came in. Okay, sorry, nurse came back in. So anyway, so the one thing that Chayse was very quick to relay to them, that the clinic even said, and that I kept drilling into him, is you need a chest x-ray. Ask for a chest x-ray, which he did, but they did all those other diagnostics and did not do a chest x-ray. Sent him back out to the waiting room. We were there close to an hour. And I finally said, go up there. Okay, so the nurse came in again. Anyway, so the one test that they did not do was the one test that we needed done. So Chayse went back up to the window and basically said, look, I'm going to have to go to work or whatever. And so they called him back and did a chest x-ray. Then he came back out to the waiting room. At this point, the waiting room was starting to fill up a little bit. But then again, we're at like basically 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Then they called him back, I'd say 30 minutes or so after the chest x-ray probably. And then very quickly after that, they called me back. So I knew that there were going to be some results to be had at that point. And again, Chayse was not in acute distress. It did not appear. The concern for me was the description of breathing through a straw. That's what led us to where we are. So anyway, we met with the German physician, spoke just a little bit of broken English. I think as I've pieced it together, he's a resident. Very, very nice, very informative. And he showed me the chest x-ray and the ultrasound results, which will be part 2